An officer radios dispatch, reporting that a suspect just tried to run him over. Under standard procedure, officers are permitted to use lethal force to stop a vehicle actively being used as a weapon. But in this case, the officer's own body camera recorded the event, and the footage directly contradicted his official report. The man behind the wheel was 39-year-old Stephenson King. For years, King had experienced severe and documented struggles with mental illness, dealing with intense bouts of paranoia that left him highly vulnerable. Earlier on the day he died, King's paranoia reached a breaking point. He told his father he couldn't move and explicitly begged him to call 911 so an ambulance could take him to the hospital. Emergency medical technicians arrived at the family home, loaded King onto a medical stretcher, and carried him downstairs. Watching them leave from the front door was the last time King's father would ever see his son alive. King entered the system that afternoon as a patient asking for medical intervention, but the care he requested never arrived. Instead, his day ended in an armed confrontation in a Roxbury intersection. Later that evening, the timeline shifts to the Linwood Square neighborhood of Roxbury. Two Boston police officers locate a vehicle that had been reported stolen earlier in the night. Inside, they find King asleep in the reclined driver's seat. The officers approach the parked car aggressively. Officer Nicholas O'Malley and his partner advance on the sleeping suspect with their firearms already drawn and aimed. According to O'Malley's official account, King woke up, ignored police commands, threw the car into reverse, and smashed into a police cruiser. O'Malley claimed King then shifted gears and actively tried to run the officers down in a desperate attempt to escape. O'Malley fired 3 shots through the driver's side window. The car accelerated, crashed into a nearby stone wall, and stopped. O'Malley immediately radioed dispatch, stating that King had tried to crush them. King died at the hospital less than an hour later. If an officer is trapped in the path of a fleeing vehicle, using a gun to neutralize the driver satisfies the legal threshold for self-defense. Based strictly on the details O'Malley reported over the radio, this was a textbook justified police shooting. Then, the Suffolk County District Attorney reviewed the officer's body camera footage. The visual evidence was so jarringly different from the written report that the DA took a historically rare step, arresting Officer O'Malley and charging him with voluntary manslaughter. The footage revealed that O'Malley did not react defensively to a sudden threat. Instead, he escalated the encounter immediately. Before the car even moved, O'Malley drew a taser, approached the window, and shouted an explicit threat to shoot King. This diagram maps the spatial reality. When King reverses, neither officer is near the car's path. The second officer stands directly across the car from O'Malley. The DA concluded, by firing blindly, O'Malley's partner was in far greater danger of crossfire than King's tires. The raw data captured by the lens stripped away the subjective police narrative. What was initially documented as a necessary act of self-defense was reclassified by the state as an unjustified criminal act. The Boston Police Union immediately blasted the district attorney's office, aggressively defending O'Malley's actions and pushing back against the manslaughter charge. Their defense rests on human biology. They argue that a digital camera provides an artificial view of a high-stress environment. A lens cannot record a massive spike in adrenaline, the chaos of a violent encounter, or the sensory distortions a brain experiences in the dark. In that split second of panic, they argue O'Malley genuinely perceived his partner was about to be crushed. To the union, that human perception of fear validates the shooting, regardless of what an overhead geometric map proves after the fact. The upcoming legal battle centers on a philosophical clash. When a life is taken, should the officer be judged by the cold, objective truth recorded by a machine, or the subjective, adrenaline-fueled reality of their own mind? This philosophical debate is happening in a vacuum, because despite the footage being clear enough to charge a police officer with manslaughter, the public and Stephenson King's family are legally barred from actually seeing it. This chart compares how quickly U.S. cities mandate the release of critical incident footage. Seattle requires disclosure within 72 hours. Washington, D.C. allows 10 days. But under Massachusetts law, police can withhold video until all internal investigations and court proceedings are finished. King's grieving father and his civil rights attorneys are left holding press conferences, demanding access to a tape the state refuses to hand over. They want to see the final moments of a man who asked for an ambulance and received 3 bullets instead. We are left with a stalemate. A citizen is dead, an officer is free on personal recognitions, and the video of those final moments remains behind an institutional barrier that could stand for years. Body cameras were implemented nationwide to bring transparency and trust to fatal police encounters. But if that footage is buried by the state the moment it incriminates an officer, we have to ask, who is the camera actually protecting?